5 a.m. What time is it here? It's like 4 or 5 a.m. 5 a.m. So yeah. I was trying to keep it relatively consistent with the times I normally go live, but I forgot like that's early AF for me. So I got my juice box, and let me make sure I can see questions and stuff. All right. Yeah, I didn't want to set it for short time in case I couldn't muster the strength to get up, or there's technical, like I've been having a lot of technical difficulties lately. My laptop's busted, my ring light is playing tricks on me. So I'm doing this on my phone again, which is probably how things will be for the foreseeable future. Um, Alrighty. Shayla, I hope quarantine is going well. It's it's funny. I have the misfortune of being right next to a mother and a small child, so they spend a lot of time screaming. And we're not supposed to leave our rooms, but I can hear them in the hallway laughing and stuff, and I'm like, they don't get deported. Like I wouldn't. All right. So let's start talk. Well, okay. First, I do want to say, I wanted to go live and talk to you guys about this because I can tell, I can get that like the quarantine process can be a bit confusing because so much varies from where you come from, your nationality, and like what place you end up staying in. So I wanted to talk to you guys first, like while it's fresh in my mind. But I also later I'm doing like a quarantine diary where it'll be all 14 days in one video, and then I'll talk about step by step what the process was. But I'm also here to answer questions that you guys might have about what it was like. So okay, let me go look at some questions. Queen Cookie, what's the quarantine like? It's actually funny because the hotel I'm at, I've been here before. Back in 2017, we went. I'm actually near Everland, so we had like this really long Chuseok. Like I've talked about it a few times, and my friends were like, "Oh, we're gonna stay at this," or I'm at the Ramada. They're like, "We're gonna stay at the hotel," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not. I already had an Airbnb like secured for like a week, and I ain't have Ramada money." So I walked them to the lobby. They like checked in their bags, and then we took the bus over to Everland. So I was like, "I've been here before. How funny is that?" So it's really, it's pretty chill. I can give you guys a tour real quick because I'm on my selfie stick. Yeah, I'll just do that. All right. So this is the bed. It's freaking massive for just me. I'll turn on all the lights so y'all can see better. All right. This is the quarantine like makeup area. This is our biohazard bags. Literally all our trash has to go in that. They treat you like patient zero, and it's kind of funny. And luckily here they kind of provided a lot of stuff. Toothpaste, toothbrush, shower towel, vanity things, uh, ear toothpicks and stuff, or ear picks, Q-tips. And we do have a little mini fridge. I'm gonna run out of room soon because they give you 2 waters 3 times a day with your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Um, this is me. This is the bathroom. The bidet that I'm still too scared to use. I imagine I'll drown if I try, so I haven't used the bidet. Um, and this is the shower. That's my mask. I still gotta wash it. Yeah, so it's relatively, it's just for me, so it's cool. And since my laptop is, I got to get the hard drive replaced. So they have a smart TV, thank God, and I've been watching Markiplier and Corey Kenshin since I figured it out. And I want to show you guys the view, but it's not much of a view because it's kind of dark. But let me turn on this light again. All right. Let's see what it looks like outside because it's 4 a.m. I don't know if y'all can see that. Yeah, I don't. Okay, you can see the moon is really creepy right now, but it's pretty. Yeah, it's 5 in the morning, so it's pretty dark outside still. And that is this is where I'm sitting. All right, that is the tour. I'm sorry if that was like messy. I'm sure it was. All right, now let me get some questions. Answer some more questions. All right. Um. well, Um. I'm gonna try to pronounce these names. Y'all know me. I'm dumb. A Tanner Renata. What are you looking forward to once you are out of quarantine? It's funny because my friends have been telling me how they can do a lot of day drinking, but like there's still restrictions on like a lot of places close at like 9 p.m. So my friend Bria called to check on me, and she was with Tanya, and they have a new friend. They're like, "Oh, you gotta meet her. You're gonna love her." So I can't wait to see them again because this is the longest I've gone without seeing them. I haven't seen them since November of 2019. We met in 2018, and I move a lot. Like I've been to 14 schools, 15 if you count my university. So unfortunately, it means friends like tend to come and go a lot in my life because I move and then we lose contact. But like the whole year I was gone in 2020, Bria would still video call me and check on me and be like, "What's it like in the States right now?" And I cannot wait to see her again. Like I really miss her. So I think that's what I'm looking forward to the most. She's lit AF. She got all these tattoos now, and I'm like, girl, I don't even know who you are anymore. I can't wait. So that's probably what I'm looking forward to the most. And some sense of normalcy because, in the States, it's not super safe to go out yet and do anything. But in Korea, you have to wear a mask everywhere you go. You have to like check in so they can do contact tracing if there's a breakout or an outbreak. So, like, I'm looking forward to a little bit of normalcy. Like, I'm not gonna go off the wall and be crazy. Like, I still got my face shield and my mask and stuff and hella sanitizers, but I just can't wait to have some sense of normalcy again. um, King, oh gosh, King Vuktoa? Does Korea allow you to quarantine at your temporary home? It depends on your. That's an ad. It depends on your type of visa. If you come for a short-term visa, like I did, because I came visa-free, so with certain passports, you can kind of just come and show up, and they give you a visa. So for a short-term visa, the government facility is absolutely mandatory. If you're on like a teacher or a student visa or things like that, then you can maybe work out an Airbnb or your own temporary like apartment or whatever. But if you're short term visa like me, it's mandatory here. um, Lily Simmer mom, drink any soju yet? Nope. It's actually in the rules that we're not allowed to drink. And the place I'm at costs 1.6 million won, and they provide meals 3 times a day. There's 12 p.m., oh, 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. And we can't order food. Like, we're actually not allowed to. So I won't be drinking for at least 2 weeks, which is fine. But, all right. Um, I'm trying to, it's hard to keep the messages on screen, so that kind of sucks. Oh, Isabella B, how much is that in dollars? In US dollars, it's approximately 1,500, like 1,550, something like that, $1,500. Which honestly, I saw that the quotes went from 1,400 to like 2,100. So in my mind, I was like, all right, 2,100. So 1,500, that's perfect. I got money that I didn't have to spend that I was expecting to spend. So that's what's up. Major Key, how long are you staying? I'm probably gonna leave like 2 weeks after my birthday, so like the end of April. Yeah. For one, my allergies are really bad, and mixed with like the pollen and the dust season, it's not really a fun time for me. So I think that's when I'll go back home. Um, mucha mucha. That's supposed to be how long? Oh, it's the same. Oh, thank you. I love your glasses. Oi, Felix, come here, bro. um, Lenethra Laster. Hey, Cece, skin looking radiant. Cece, what are your top 3 places to eat once you're free from quarantine? Honestly, I'm not even sure what places are still like open, but I know I want samgyeopsal. I haven't had any since last March, so I want some samgyeopsal and I want some budae and I can't get monnaemyeon until it's warmer out. But budae and samgyeopsal are like my top two. Actually, there's this really cool place in Hongdae where I got kimchi bokkeumbap with cheese, and that's like the only place I've ever had it with cheese. And I want to try and go back there if they're still open, but uh, there's a whole lot that I don't know about, like Korea anymore. Oh, B is for butter. So nice to see you. How was the flight? So the flight actually got kind of lucky. So my itinerary was BWI. I'm from Baltimore, so I went from BWI to Atlanta and Atlanta straight to Seoul. This is the first time I didn't have to have an overnight layover in China because I don't think they're accepting any flights from the U.S. They're like, we don't want y'all Rona, even though they started it. But yeah, normally I'm used to spending the night in China, so this was actually a way quicker trip. The whole travel duration was like 18 hours. I'm used to like 30 plus 30, 34 hours. So honestly, my flight from BWI to Atlanta was a blur. It was so quick. It was only like an hour and a half. And then I got kind of lucky because in the flight to Seoul, you could tell it was like nothing but teachers, like other English teachers and military. So it was pretty empty. And I was in like the middle. So I had nobody next to me. I was on this aisle and I had two empty seats, so I could kind of stretch my legs out. So that was really nice. But it was still, I kept my mask on the whole time. So like my nose started to feel a little irritated because I have like this little metal clamp on my nose, so that kind of got irritating. And then I had my face shield on the whole time, so like I started to forget what air feels like. You know what I mean? But it was pretty chill. I packed snacks because I didn't want to take off my mask to eat the food. So I had like cashews, granola bars, and fruit gummies that I would kind of just like, and then put my mask back on. And yeah, he was probably like, "Girl, you can take it off to eat," but nah, I ain't playing no games with no Rona. So yeah, it was actually pretty nice though. This is the quickest I've ever gotten to Korea. Multi fandom, baby. How's the weather like in Korea? It was actually warmer than I expected, which is why I'm mad because I have my long padding coat. Um, it was hazy and the small. You could tell the air quality was really bad yesterday. It's been pretty hazy and probably in like the 40s or 50s. Like it's cool, but not like cold. So I'm looking forward to some rain. Like I want to see some rain and falling. Um, Mako 2020. Are there bad? Oh wait, where'd that go? Are there bad stereotypes about English teachers in Korea? Like, do some Koreans them because their salaries are so high? I don't think that salary is considered high. You make anywhere from like 2 million won to like 3.5 million won, depending on your experience. So that's like approximately 2,000 to like $3,000 a month, something like that. There's definitely no bad stereotypes that I know of. A lot of people are grateful that you're teaching their kids English because English is so important for a person's success. It's a business language, so they want their kids to be really good at English. So I don't think there's any bad stereotypes about that. Maya R, how much time do you have left until quarantine is over? I just started yesterday. Yesterday was my first full day, so I have 13 days left. I will be free to leave February 20th at noon. Yeah, that was nice. They circled the time for me and told me when I could go. Nini, oh, okay, this is a really good question. Nini, do you have to have a Korean contact to come to Korea? Yes, because I thought it was just a person living in Korea with a Korean phone number, so I gave them my friend Bria's number. And they're asking me, is your friend 한국 사람? I was like, no, 외국 선생님이에요. They're like, we need Korean. I was like, crap. So luckily, she was able to get her coworker to like call on my behalf. But all they asked him was like, what's my name? How long am I gonna stay? And what's my cacao? And that was it. So I'm sitting there freaking out because everybody's like, "Do you have a visa?" And I'm like, "No, I thought I could do visa free." And everybody kept asking me, so I'm freaking out that I was gonna be deported back home. But yeah, so you do have to have like, oh, at least for a short term visa. But I think if you're coming here for a long term visa, you probably do have like a contact, like my mentor teacher, if I was still a teacher, the principal, your recruiter, things like that. So that shouldn't be a problem. If you're a short term visa, make sure you got a friend that you can like have them talk to because I was freaking out a little bit. FOA, can you do a vlog? Yes, I am planning to do. Well, for this quarantine, because I don't want to drag it out. I don't want it to be like days 1 through 5 because it's pretty much going to be copy, repeat, copy, paste. But I'm planning to do like one big vlog about the whole process. I didn't get to film a whole lot in the quarantine because they told me like no filming. I was like, oh, sorry. But like I'll talk about the boarding process, what it was like at the airport with the negative PCR test, maybe the meals that they give us, and it'll. I think as the days go on, you'll probably want to see less and less anyway. So I'm gonna make that one big vlog, so it's not like wait till next time to see what happens on quarantine day 7 through 14. Like it's not. It's pretty boring. um, Nelly, what if you're just there for vacation and you don't know anyone? That I don't know. Like I'm here just for vacation. I just happen to have a friend here. Um, I would maybe try try to reach out to someone through like some sort of app to be like, hey, I'm coming to Korea. Be my friend. I need them to talk to somebody. I don't know what they'll do if you don't have anyone to talk to. I'm really not sure because they told me that I need to have a Korean contact. Markiplier is too loud. It's funny. This TV is turned down as low as it can go, and one more down is just is silent. But I'm sorry if that's a little too loud. Sorry. All right. Um, Deborah Sentu, did your nose piercing hurt a lot? No, it was actually the easiest one. I have three in this ear, three in this ear, my belly, and my nose. And I think my nose is simple. I was like bracing for it. It was pretty chill. Queen Cookie, please fill Mills. Yeah, that's pretty much like the only thing that's kind of interesting during quarantine. So I try to let a little bit of time pass. So like breakfast is supposed to be delivered at like 6 or 8. So like I'll go at like 8:10, and there's like a little wooden stump out front, and you'll see like a bag there. So I pull it in, and I've been kind of recording what it is. But I've heard how people lose weight during quarantine, and I can totally understand why, because it's like a lot of rice and then like two slabs of meat, and there's like a salad and some kimchi and like side dishes. I got like a boiled egg, a sandwich, yogurt, some crackers. That was breakfast. They do plenty of juice boxes though, and I'm a little bitch for my juice boxes, so I'm happy. All right. Miss K19, do you need a visa to visit Korea? Annoyingly, it depends so much on your nationality, because there honestly, I fully don't understand why Americans aren't banned. Like we have over 24 million cases, over 450,000 people died in America. I don't know why we're not banned yet, but I have heard about some people saying like their tourist visas have been denied, or there's no visa free entry for them because of where they're from. But here, as an American, I just showed up and I was fine. But it depends on where you're from. Like so much of it changes day to day, and that's why I wholeheartedly thought that America would be banned before I got the money together to come on this trip. I just knew. I was like, we're gonna be banned. They there's no point in letting us over. We're cancer right now. Like America just cannot freaking listen. So much just depends on where you're from. Um, Oh, these names. I'm so sorry. It's 5 a.m. Okay, Valentine Kenechukwu, who handles the cost of quarantine? That's us. That's all on us. Which is why I really want to thank y'all so much, because around like December, I got a huge boost in views on my channel. Like that video I did, Are Foreigners Pretty in Korea, got so many views all of a sudden. That had a lot to do with why I was able to come here. So 정말 감사합니다. 항상 감사합니다. I did not expect, I was like, how am I going to raise this money? Because I was a bit naive to think that as long as I had a Korean address, I could just quarantine there. And my friend told me that too. So I was like, all right, I can stay with her. All I gotta do is cover the flight. Then they said, well, if you're a short-term visa holder, you must quarantine at our facility. So I was like, crap. And then I saw those quotes. So I was like, yeah, I might be able to go in like March. I don't know. And then the flights cost double. I'm used to paying like 500 to 600 for a one-way ticket. This one cost 1,000 because flying to China is cheaper, and there's no China option. So I had to fly Korean Air, and Korean Air is nice, but it's expensive. So yeah, we have to cover our own, which is kind of messed up because they don't even tell you how much you're gonna pay until you get here. Like literally, we went through. You can see like there's like quarantine writing. They tell you where to go. They ask you get the little scarlet letter. Like we had these little placards that had a red card. I'm like, it's like a scarlet letter, like a horrible virus branding, being American. And they put a little red circle on your passport and everything. And then after you get through all the process and all the questionnaires, and they download, they like give me your smartphone, and then they go through the Play Store and they download it. But that's actually one for self quarantine. When I got here, we had to do one for the government quarantine. So once you pull up, you just get in a shuttle. Everybody is told to wait at this like little quarantine section in the airport. And when it's time to go, we all got on the shuttle, which was free, so that was good. And then we just drove around till we got to the Ramada. And I was like, I feel like we're going to Everland, and we're in Suwon, so I was kind of right. um, and then once you get to the bottom, you get like all the they like I said, we're like patient zero. They covered in plastic, face guards, face shields. Like they don't play. They got gloves. They give you hand pumps of hand sanitizer and gloves, and then they have you fill out the little forms, and then you see how much you're gonna pay. Like they don't tell you. They don't give you a heads up. And I saw 1.6 million won, which I was like, okay, cool, because that's like 500,000 won cheaper than I thought I was gonna have to pay. So, yeah. um. Um, Moonchild. Moonchild. All right. How has your experience been with unwanted attention been this time around as a foreigner during the pandemic? I've thought about visiting Korea, but I feel like I'll stand out a lot. The airport was pretty empty, so I didn't really see too many people. Like, aside from people who work there who are still as cheery and, pleasant as "Akasanida, anejo, jukunochiseyo." Like, they're still so pleasant and upbeat. Like, it's a little muffled now because everybody's wearing masks and double masks and shields. But yeah, there weren't too many people in the airport. Like, what the whole bus that I was in was nothing but foreigners, so we were all like in the same bubble of being like coronavirus. So like that wasn't too bad. And I mean, once you're out on the street as like a normal civilian, they know we've gone through the quarantine protocol. So I don't think we'll be like any different or stand out ish because they know that we've had to pay more to be here and keeping their economy afloat a little bit. I mean, because my thing is the fact that we have to test negative to get on the plane and quarantine for 14 days when a lot of like medical experts are saying 7 to 10 days as long as you test negative is fine, but they're like, nah, we're gonna drag it out to 14 just to be sure, keep them coins a little bit too. So I don't think you'll be treated any different as a foreigner. Alrighty. Moonshell. Okay, Tibaya. So you pay 1.6 million won for 2 weeks, including food and such. Yeah. Well, it's 1.6. Well, it's 82. It's 1.6 thousand. I don't know how you say that. It's 5 a.m. It was 1,680,000 won, and that includes everything. Food 3 times a day. Um, the facilities and stuff. Yeah, that's all included. But some places don't include the food. Some places let you order stuff. So it just varies so much based on where you are. Like it's very different person to person. Like in the little packet they gave us, it explicitly says we're not allowed to order food from restaurants. And I was like, I really wanted Loteria. That's like one of my favorite burger joints around here. Loteria, Loteria. Slipper Lick. I'm in Korea. We start online talk orientation today. How was your orientation? It was actually really funny because when I first came to Korea, it was like February 4th, 2017. And now I'm here, well, February 6th, 2021. And when I first got here, we had a mandatory 2 week orientation and we weren't allowed to leave. So, like, we had lectures like all day. We had meals 3 times a day. We were not allowed to leave our rooms or the lecture hall. So it kind of feels the same. It was like orientation and quarantine is not all that different. We had that one night of freedom. We weren't allowed to really go out and drink, but people did it anyway. But people reckless. Um, our schedules were all tight and set out for us, and it wasn't a whole lot of freedom. So it kind of feels like quarantine, honestly. um, my finger keeps getting in the way of the camera. I'm sorry. All right. Alrighty. Haneen7, what should people be prepared for before coming to Korea? During quarantine or like just in general? For during quarantine, I would say make sure you have like, because the PCR test is like a really big deal. Mine got checked several times. I printed out several copies just to be sure. Oh, it's over there. So that's like really important because it got checked like 4 times. Once, um, boarding, like even in BWI, once you go to the ticket counter, they need to see the negative PCR test. And then again, once you have the connecting flight, or depending on how many times you have a connecting flight. So when I got to Atlanta, excuse me, they checked my temperature, they asked if I had symptoms, and they needed to see my negative PCR test. And then once I got on the plane, they needed to see it again, and they gave you little forms to like fill out for when you land. And then once I landed, they needed to see it again, and then they switch out the PCR test for like this little yellow card that says like, all right, they're good. But that's like a really big deal because some people have been getting in trouble because they don't have like an official signature or stamp on the form. Some people don't have the PCR test. Like the only thing they want to make sure is it's not one of those rapid response tests because those that take like less than 24 hours are not very accurate. So as long as it's one, if it takes you more than 24 hours to get your results, you're good. That's like the PCR test. So that's like a big deal that I would tell people to like prepare for. But under normal circumstances, it's not quarantine. uh, Prepare to be stared at. Like that's like, yeah, that's like the thing. I don't know. Fatima A, what is your favorite city in Korea? That's hard. I really like Busan, but I like Incheon too. So I think maybe Busan. I think I say Busan. Yeah, Busan. Busan's nice. Um, Isabella, are you gonna be a flight attendant? Probably not at this point because I haven't heard anything from March since March 5th of last year, and with COVID and the airline industry took a big hit, probably not. So I'll probably have to reapply when all this stuff is over again. Yeah, it kind of sucks to talk about. Um, Moonchild. That song stuck in my head. Moonchild, Moonchild, that's supposed to be. Um, Issa Bittner, is life relatively normal in South Korea right now? Well, unfortunately, I didn't get to see much because I was literally at the airport. They herded us into a shuttle and then we drove here. Looking out my window, I still see like people walking around, but they all got masks on. And then, like I said, my friend Bria called to check in on me. They were out day drinking. They went out to eat, and she was telling me how these agencies kept trying to get them to go to a norebang because their plan was to eat, drink, and then go bowling. And then these agencies were like, "Hey, you should come to norebang with us." So based on her views or what she was telling me, things seem relatively normal. But I do know that there are like curfews and restrictions still. You have to wear a mask, all that good stuff. But yeah, um, it's more normal than in America. I can definitely say that because mm, it's so freaking frustrating. Moonchild, Moonchild, has supposed to be Moonchild. um, Chanel Epocatem. Do you know anything about being in the business industry or an accountant? I do not. Numbers and math are totally not my thing. Yeah, I got nothing there. I don't know if you mean like in Korea or just in general, but if you do that in Korea, just make sure you know Korean before you like apply for jobs here. Um, Momalaka 318. I wonder if you still have the vaccine. Do you still have to quarantine? Yes. Yep. Yep. No, there's like nothing. The only thing that might get you out of it is if you have like documentation proving that you had COVID and recovered. Other than that, and like there's a few like nationals who get exempt from it, but the vaccine isn't enough to get you like all right, well they got vaccinated because it's not 100%, and yeah, unfortunately it's not enough. Like even on the plane they kept announcing keep your mask on at all times, even if you had the vaccine. You have to keep your mask on the whole time, so they don't really treat the vaccine like too much of like I don't want to say that the T card. It's not like yes I got the vaccine I'm good. Nah, they don't see it that way here yet. Plus they don't have it here yet, so maybe once they start to vaccinate their citizens they'll be like all right, this is vaccine, like this is vaccine life, vaccinated life. And then they'll start to let you like I got vaccinated, here's my proof, I'm good. But for now, only having COVID and recovering will get you exempt from this, I believe. um yeah. Don Cleveley, hi from Vancouver Island, just got here, love your channel. Kamsahamnida. What will you be doing for work? uh I'm not working. Because of COVID, I've become a bum. So I'm just YouTubing and hanging out. And cost of living here is relatively inexpensive. So with my friend, she's giving me like a huge discount on rent. And I'm only staying here for like 2 or 3 months. So aside from that, I just need to cover like my food. I think I'm good. Yeah. But unfortunately, I'm not working. I can't wait to be working again though, because this is the longest I'm gone without having a job. It feels so freaking weird. Like it does. I can't believe it's 20. I felt like I was just a teacher yesterday. Like even when they message you on Kakao like to check in and tell you the rules and stuff, they ask you what's your work, and I'm like I don't work. And they're like, what was your previous work? And I was like, oh, I was an English teacher, and that feels like just yesterday. It was a whole 2 years ago now, almost 2 full years that I haven't been an English teacher. So yeah. Luis Martinez, how long is the flight from your home to Korea? If you take a nonstop flight, it's like 15 hours. But I would have had to go to DC, and then that flight was like $1,500. I wasn't paying that, so I ended up traveling for like 18 hours. The quickest route would be though 15. Normally, I travel like 34 hours because I usually have to spend the night in China. The first time I went, I spent the night in Shanghai. The second time I went, I spent the night in Beijing. So I'm happy with this itinerary. It's the quickest I ever got to Korea. I'm so happy I got juice. I love juice. Um, Michaela Melrose. Do you recommend for a foreigner to live in Korea? Um, I mean, why not? I think for a bit at least, maybe not long. I wouldn't recommend it long term. Like that's why I don't see myself living in Korea like ever again. I like to visit because I have friends here. It's lit and it's fun, but I don't see myself living in Korea long term because I'm a foreigner. But to each their own. There are foreigners who live here. They get married here. They have kids here and stuff. I wouldn't want to bring my kids up in this competitive, judgmental society. Um, yeah, it just depends. Like I think 2 years was enough of living here for me, but I have friends who've been here for like 4 years now, and I'm like, girl, you. It's funny because we always plan to, I'm gonna go for a year, I'm gonna go for 6 months, and everybody I've ever met has extended their contract or had to go home because of like familiar circumstances at home, and then they want to come back or they want to extend. So I think, yeah, I think most foreigners do enjoy it when they come here, but I wouldn't recommend living forever. Multi fandom baby. Have you watched True Beauty? I don't watch dramas. I don't watch Korean dramas anymore. Kiki Yon Suji. Oh, my flight to Korea was 14 hours, 13 to China, and 1 to Korea. That's what's up. Yeah, I couldn't find any flights that went to China for me. I did see some weird, like, I've seen a lot more interesting creative routes. Like, I saw one that took me from BWI to Ethiopia to Seoul. And that would have been cool, but I would have had to spend the night and stay in Ethiopia for like 19 hours. So, ooh, yikes. KK, do you watch anime? I do. I love anime. That's pretty much what my all of my entertainment was on the plane. I had a bunch downloaded on my phone from Netflix. I finished Demon Slayer because the last few episodes when I watched weren't dubbed yet, and I do dubs over subs. Um, and then I watched one called Backstreet Girls or something. It was like these three yakuza guys who had to apologize to their boss, so they got like gender reassignment surgery to become Japanese idols. It was so funny. Cause like they're like, we love you, and then they're like sipping a drink and like, I can't believe we're doing this. It was really funny. um, Moonchild. Um, I Shiana 2. Are Korean facial masks better than the usual? Do you mean like a sheet mask? Honestly, I've never worn a sheet mask that wasn't Korean, so I don't really have anything to compare it to. I don't know what a facial mask is though. Bubble tea juiceyo. Yeah, I did my layover in San Fran when traveling to Korea twice. Yeah, that would have been ideal, but the thing, and I talked, she's one of my channel members. I had to talk to people online because I was confused about, there was like mad routes that only gave me 51 minutes for my layover. And I'm like, I don't know if I can trust 51 minutes for an international connecting flight. Like, I didn't know if I'd have to recheck my bags and then like reclaim my bags and recheck them. I didn't know if there were like extra quarantine measure. Like, it seemed a bit risky, but there was one option that would take me to San Francisco and then straight to Seoul, but that was only 51-minute layover. I could not do that. Oh, man, that would be just my luck. And then when you have the COVID test, it's time sensitive because your departing date can't be any more than 72 hours from when you received your result. And I could imagine like my flight missing it and then be have to put on the next one, and then that's like a day late. So yeah, I just said okay. It was like 2 hours in Atlanta, so that was that was a lot better for me. um, Moonchild. Bubble tea. Ooh. I've never understood. Can somebody explain to me what does the uwu thing mean? I see that. I'm old. I don't know what that means anymore. But yeah, what animes do you watch? I have seen so many. Like I literally have a list in my phone, so I don't forget the ones that I've seen. But I'm recording on my phone. I'm looking forward to a lot though. I'm looking forward to season 2 of The Promised Neverland. I know Attack on Titan is back, but I'm gonna wait until it's over so I can just binge it all at once. Um, there's also that time I was reincarnated as a slime. I think the next season's coming out for that this year. And then Demon Slayer season 2, I believe, is coming out this year. And I think, oh, I forgot what it was called. It was like this dude who's like in the real world Tokyo, and he got whisked away into a game, and he was like this sword master. I forgot that one, but that one I think is coming back for season 2 this year. There's a lot that I'm looking forward to. I watch a ton of anime. Like I really do. Um, Jason Luo, why don't you watch Korean dramas? The, I just feel like once I've just seen too many. Like the plots are the same, the acting is weird. It's just this unrealistic. It's like kind of like soap operas. Like I don't like soap operas either. The only dramas that I used to really like were like the action based ones. I don't really watch like the romancy ones or the school based ones, and I don't like them. Like I watch Kingdom. I still like that one. That's like an action zombie type of thing. I like Korean movies. I don't really like Korean dramas. Um, I feel so dumb. I can't read. I can't read good. Not Nadiri, Nadiri. Tell us a few stories of how you met your friends in Korea, please. All right, so I'm gonna talk about my friend Bria because like I'm gonna see her in 2 weeks. So, we went to Mad Holic. It's like a hip hop club in Hongdae, and once a year, every summer, I believe they have like a pool party somewhere. Like it'll be out in the middle of nowhere. Well, at least the one we went to was. And I was excited to go because I wanted to see DPR live. He's like my favorite Korean rapper, and I went there with three three of my other friends. Like we went there together, and it was this bus in the middle of nowhere in Gangwon-do, and it was summertime, so it was supposed to be warm, but it got really cold. And we were like, "Oh, should we pay extra to get a table?" And I was like, "Nah, we ain't gonna need a table." And then this girl, this Jamaican girl, she said, "Hey, girl, hey you," and we're like, "English?" So we go over to them, and she recognized my friend as another Latina, so they were like, "Oh," and they were speaking Spanish, so they were excited. And then she recognized me from my channel. I had just started like 2 or 3 months before that, and we ended up hanging out for the rest of the night. Like they had a table, they're like, "Can bring your stuff over to our table," and like we're like jamming together. She was over there doing a twerk contest, like, and we've been tight ever since. We exchanged cacaos. We started to go clubbing together. Um, yeah, that was back in 2018, and she had a housewarming later that year, and that's how I met like two of my other friends, like through her. And yeah, aside from that, most of my friends in Korea I met through the talk program. Like we all went through orientation together, but a lot of them, once they left Korea, we kind of like lost connections, and they went back to their respective countries all over the world. There's like one girl, Coco, that I still talk to. She's in Florida, so I haven't been to Florida like at all. And I might actually go in May though, depending on how Corona's looking. I might be able to go in May because my dad's been planning this trip to see my cousin. We'll see. So most of my friends though, I don't really talk to anymore because once you leave Korea, you kind of just lose connection. That's why Bria, I was really pleasantly surprised when she like kept in touch with me. She would call me. I'm like, girl, it's early. She said, shut up, let's talk. But yeah, we met while we were clubbing. All right. Caitlin Cole, OMG, how long has she been live, and why didn't I get a notification? It hasn't been long. It's been 38 minutes so far. Probably because it's like a really weird time. It's 5:30 for me here, of almost 6 a.m. But I was trying to keep it somewhat consistent to when I normally go live, which, if my memory serves me, was like 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I had to go back and look because I forget. It's been months. I'm sorry. Oh man. Um, Cam 413. It took me about a week to get over the jet lag. I'm weirdly surprised because I mean, maybe because the time that I landed. So I landed in Korea yesterday around like 2. It was like 1:45, 2 o'clock. And by the time I got through everything with the quarantine protocol and was waiting for the shuttle, it was like 4:30. And by the time we got to the hotel, it was like 6. Well, once we got through all the like payment and stuff and the rules, it was like 6. So once I showered and got in bed, it was like 9 or 10. And it was like perfect time to go to bed. And I did wake up a few times throughout the night. It was like 1 a.m., then it was like 5 a.m., and then 7 a.m. And I chose to stay up at like 8. So I think I'm kind of on the schedule here. Like I went to sleep early so I could wake up to do this. So I went to sleep last night at like 11, and then I woke up a few times throughout the night. But I chose to stay up at like 4 so I could get ready for this. So, yeah. Karan, how long have you been learning Korean? Um, on and off since 2014. I'm mostly off though. Like it'll be on, like I'll be in it, and then I just like lose motivation. Yeah. um, have you seen the Godzilla versus Kong trailer? I haven't really been watching TV. Um, breakfast. That's cute. Breakfast. How much would you bring for a 3 week trip? And should I bring half empty luggage for shopping? Normally, I would say yes, but I'm not so sure yet with how shopping is right now. Like, I don't know if prices are hiked because people aren't doing it. I honestly don't know. But for 3 weeks, does that include the quarantine, the 2 week quarantine? Because the quarantine process alone is going to cost you 14 to 2100 US dollars. Your flight, I don't know where you're coming from, but not including quarantine for 3 weeks of comfortable stay, I'd say like $2,000 to $3,000 US. But that doesn't include the quarantine thing because I don't know if you mean like post corona or like nowish. um, Giovanni Gutierrez, quarantine is no quarantine is 2 weeks, but she asked about staying for 3 weeks. Yeah, quarantine. I got here on the 6th, and I'll be free on the 20th. Um, Chili Freeman. When I looked up my quarantine, it was like 2100. Wait, how do you look it up? I mean, when I got here, I didn't know about anything until I got the form that had the money on the bottom of it. But there's no way to like know in advance how much you're gonna pay. I wish there was, because I would have been happier. I'd be like, all right, I'm not gonna have to spend the 2 million I thought I was gonna have to pay. Kiani Jaime, or Kiana Jaime, Jaime. Do you have any tips for traveling to Korea by yourself? How about going to clubs? I never go to clubs by myself. I'm not built that way. If I don't have like my group to talk to, I'm not gonna go. But traveling alone is like a lot different, I think, because especially when you come as a teacher, you meet so many people here, or like as a student, you'll have other students around you, or as a teacher, you have other people in orientation with you. So, but if it's like a visit somewhere, I won't go alone. Like I actually don't do solo travel. I knew it'd be different coming to teach because I knew I'd make friends with other people in a similar situation, but I actually don't do solo travel. Like that's kind of my problem. Like I would have been able to go to so many more places if I was down to go by myself. Like when I went to Japan, I had to bribe my friend Coco to go. I was like, I'll pay for the Airbnb if you come with me. So she came with me. And then when I went to Hong Kong, I put that trip off so long because I didn't have anybody else to go with. So I actually don't do solo travel. Jaehee Kwan, what's your life like in America? It's Suregi. It's garbage. I literally, and that's why quarantine isn't that big of a deal for me because I'm doing the same thing I've been doing at home for a year. Like even if you look at like my YouTube history, 2018 and 2019, I was like vlogging. I had other people in my videos. 2020, it's just me in my room. Like unless it was like an old vlog that I was like, oh yeah, I can edit this and upload this. With the exception of that one video I did, it was like a Got7 reaction. All my videos went by myself, so I'm used to, I don't do nothing. Earlier this year, or well, I did do a video with my mom when I got back home. So 2 videos last year I was with people, but other than that, my life has been like quarantine in America. I don't go anywhere. I don't even go to the grocery store because people always, I don't want to wear a mask. You're taking away my rights as a free person. Like I'm so sick of America. Like oh my god. So my life in America sucks. I don't go anywhere. Thank God for Instacart. Oh boy. Um. Uh. Kanishwa Bravo. Did you watch Train to Busan? Of course, I've seen it, and that was actually my dad asked me to recommend him at least one Korean movie, and I was like, I know you like zombie movies, so you should watch Train to Busan. Yeah, that was pretty good. Um. Toby, is that a part of your eyebrow scar or did you shave it? This is a scar. Like I've had this since I was like 5. It's a scar. Yeah, it's not gonna grow back. You can see it's like shiny. It's just that's the way it is. People have been telling me I look stupid because it should be somewhere else, but like I can't choose where I injure myself or where hair chooses not to grow from trauma. But yeah, it's a scar. um, Moesha, Mo to the E to the Moesha. All right, Moesha Modere. Bro, the whole process became so expensive. It's the process of authenticating documents, buying flight tickets, quarantine, and money for the first month in South Korea. That's just wild to me. Yeah, yeah. They make you work for it. I mean, I like I said, normally when I come to Korea, it's actually pretty. Well, I don't know where you're coming from, but from the states, because flying to China is cheap. It would be really easy to get a flight for like $500 to $600 one way, and then with the talk program, they reimburse you for your flight anyway, which was kind of nice because my flight only cost me $500, but they give everybody 1.3 million won, so I was able to pocket like 700, and that was quite the come up indeed. Mary Satome, was it hard to get a visa in Korea? Well, because I'm from the States, uh, I was able to just do I wonder if I can show y'all real quick. 잠깐만요. All right. So you can see that they brand us with the scarlet letter, but because I guess for some reason they still let Americans go visa free. I'll show you my old one because I don't want to show you the new one. But literally they gave you a little slit piece of paper, slice of paper, and it shows you my part of my passport number that's blacked out, so y'all don't need to see that. The date that I came in. This is from when I came in 2019. So it says date of entry 2019 September 8th, and then it says permitted until 2019 December 7th. So I showed up with nothing, and they give you these little. This is my visa. This is my new one. This is the old one. But I'm not gonna show y'all the new one because I don't know if there's hackers and stuff. I don't know. So yeah, it depends. Unfortunately, a lot of it depends on like where you come from and what your nationality is. Again, I will never understand why Americans weren't banned and why we're not banned. But for me, I just showed up and they just gave me a visa. Um, Serrano Charles, are you live on your phone? Yes, I'm live on my phone because my hard drive decided to break yesterday. That's fun. So I spent like 3 hours doing the hard reset, thinking that would fix it, but it didn't. So it's just the timing because I was gonna play Sims, I was gonna binge some anime, and upload some videos. But for the time being, until I get out of quarantine, I'm not touching my laptop because they tell me I need to back up all my data and it could crash. So I might try to like rapidly do one video, like to edit one, and then just don't touch it again. But other than that, my laptop is dead. Good timing, and I just got it in 2019 too. Um, Anime girl, how is it being a student in Korea for you? Well, I wasn't a student. I was an English teacher, but yeah, I'm not too acquainted with student life. I've met students here, but I don't know what it's like to be a student. Um, Toby, you may have you seen Sweet Home? Nope. Nadia Pugh, which airline do you usually fly to get to Korea? The first time was United. The second time was China Air or Air China, and this time was Korean Air. Yeah, it's not one that I tend to always do. It's whatever's cheaper. Air China was mad cheap, but I do remember getting kind of screwed over because when my flight was canceled, I was just on my own. Luckily, I had already booked like a hotel for the night, but I would have been totally screwed if I didn't do that. So yeah, I think Korean Air though was my favorite so far. Um, Now the Moesha song stuck in my head. My best friend's always on my mind. Isabella, would you ever live in Japan? No, it is too expensive. Oh my gosh. I was there for like 8 days and I spent so much money on the train alone. Nah. Like it's fun to be like I do want to go back to visit, but I don't want to live there. For one, yeah, it's just too expensive and it's too crowded. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm fond of city life and stuff, but I don't like people. Like, I don't like a lot of people. I don't like overly crowded places. I witnessed, like, I guess like transportation workers like trying to shove people in the train so like the doors could close and people are literally like this, like, nah, I'm not. Nah, that I don't want that to be like daily life. No, I'm good. Ignacio Macedo. These are some cool names. That sounds like a Final Fantasy name. Ignacio. Where do you want to live in the future? Maybe Canada? Or the UK, perhaps? I don't know. Honestly, I don't even see myself living in America because it's just too many problems there. I'm sick of the shootings. I'm sick of dumb people. I'm sick of Trumpism and just let me not make this about that. But I can see myself in like Australia, the UK, or Canada maybe. Yeah, somewhere peaceful and low key, I guess. Well, London's not really all that low key, but it's different from America, so I'll take it. um, go to the bottom. My best friend's always on my mind. Shanice Fernandez Ribeiro. They can't ban people for entering their country because of political reasons. They do can make the criteria harder to enter the country. Yeah, I guess that's true. Probably because of like I don't know which country you're talking about, but maybe with America the military ties. Because on that flight, 100% it was only English teachers and military. Like you saw the like army bags and like the green carry-on bags and stuff, and I was like, military, 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 military. And you could tell people were like visiting their like military husbands and wives and stuff too. So yeah, that could be it. But they do make you work for it. Like, oh my gosh, Test age, lol, the UK is ghetto, babe. She said the UK is ghetto. Not any more ghetto than America. I don't think so. Man, I'm so sick of this country. Well, that country. I'm optimistic now that the Cheeto is gone, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Like that Marjorie Green lady. Like if my kid died in a school shooting and she said that that was fake and it was staged, oof, she's gonna catch these hands. And I don't even fight, but I'll fight her. Literally Namjoon's IQ Hajima. Hajima, Hajima. I don't know the words, but I know the dance. All right. Um, is money good working as a teacher in Korea? Yes, because they pay for your rent, and for me, like I made less than like all my friends. In the talk program, we only got like 1.5 million won, but because I had a long commute in my first year, I got 1.6 million won, and because I had two schools in my second year, I had 1.6 million won. But my friends like Bria, Aaron, Tanya, they all made like 2.5 million up, and I was always like the lowest. Like I always got the least amount of money, and I was fine. Like they pay for your rent, so like you're pocketing money. Like you don't really have too many responsibilities except for like bills from back home, student loans. I did kind of deal with student loans and like utilities, which are really cheap. So I think it's good. And like I said, it's a really nice incentive that they pay for your rent. Mark, why is he so loud? All right. Hajima, Hajima. She said the UK is ghetto. Um, is it Siba333? Do you like Blackpink? I love Blackpink. Blackpink in your area. Yeah, I like Blackpink. Alexis Hayes, is there an age limit on teaching on in Korea? No. Actually 65. I think I think the retirement age of 65, you're not allowed to teach anymore. I think it has to do with like retiring benefit type stuff, but as long as you're between I guess 18 and 20 or 18 and 65, you're good to teach. Now 18, you'd have to be a genius because you need your bachelor's to teach. Or if you're in the talk program, you need an associate's or be halfway through your bachelor's. But yeah, I think the youngest teacher I met was 19 and the oldest teacher I met was like 52 or 53. She's been like a long time Korean teacher. So yeah, as long as you come before you're 65, you're good. I think it's 65 or 62, something like that. Yeah. Blackpink. Rebecca Black pretending we don't hear the guy screaming on TV. Yeah, I'm watching YouTube on TV, and I've been watching gameplays of Corey Kenshin and Markiplier because that's fun for me. And Markiplier keeps yelling, so I'm sorry. it's as low as it can be without being just muted. So I don't know why it's still so loud. He's a screamer. Blackpink in your area. Gigi Giselle, I think. What is the average height of a Korean? I don't know. Mola. um, I guess the average height for women is like 5'4", and I guess the average height for men is like 5'7". I don't really know though. Sparrow Loca. Where are you spending your quarantine? In a government hotel or an Airbnb? I am in a government hotel because I came on a short-term visa, so it's not my choice. I just go wherever they tell me to go, and I got chosen for the Ramada, which is nice. So I'm happy. You know, it's a big old bed. Like literally, it looks like it's two beds put together. I'm like, why do I need all that? But yeah, I'm just chilling. You know, chilling. do 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 do. Yara Hijaz. I heard if they pay for your rent, they make you live in a Goshiwan. No, huh? I mean, it's usually like a studio apartment, but I've never heard of a teacher being forced to live in a Goshiwan. That would be a crime. Oh my god. um, like I think well, my apartment in Jeju was pretty small, but again, it's just me. I had like my bed, I had like a small little kitchen, a mini fridge, in my back. Like it was like the size of a dorm room, but it definitely was better than a Goshiwan. It wasn't that bad. Goshiwan sucked. You got like a little shower, a little desk, a little bed, usually like on the floor. You can hear all the neighbors, all the noise they're making. You can smell everything they're cooking. You can smell when they're smoking cigarettes. Yeah. I've never heard about anyone having to live in a Goshiwan. If that's the case, that might be like a human rights violation. To make someone like live and teach in a country for a year and then have them live in a cubicle, yeah, I don't know about that one. Bante, how old are you? I will be 28 in April. April 13th, 28. Hajima, Hajima. Teresa Day, is that an L? Dage? I'm so sorry. It's Deijl, I think. How is it in Korea with transport? Transportation here is very efficient, it's very clean, it's very affordable. I haven't been able to do any of it since I got here because literally they like shoot us into a shuttle and brought us right here. But you know, you do I have? Oh, I was gonna show you my Namjoon T Money card, but it's over there in my wallet. I think. Yeah. No, I don't have it over here. But yeah, T Money cards you can get everywhere. They're easily reloadable, refillable. I'm sorry, it's early. But yeah, transportation here is very, very, very good. It's nice. It's crowded, but it's really good. Elizabeth Waters, what is the first thing you'll eat when you get out of quarantine? Budae or samgyeopsal? I haven't had budae since like 2018 or 2019, I think. And then I haven't had samgyeopsal in 11 months. I am counting. I got it in LA right before the pandemic, like right before it got bad. We did go out to get some Korean barbecue, but I haven't had any since then. It's a tragedy. Hajima, Hajima. That song stuck in my head. And I don't even know the words. Oh, Pete Smith, I found your channel yesterday and I am loving you. You are such a sweet person. Thank you, girl. It's also really early, so I'm not fully myself right now. I woke up, I was like, let me do this live. Let me go ahead. Cause I was actually gonna do it when I woke up, but then it's gonna be like 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and then in the UK it'd be like midnight or something. So I was like, nah, let me do it now. Nadia Pugh, what do you think about GOT7 leaving JYP? I'm mad that JYP don't know how to keep his artists happy. And then like I saw this video, it was like a compilation of him just turning down their music. Like JB was like, "Hey, I got like a list of songs I want you to hear." You see Jin Young like, "No." I'm like, it's like 4 seconds in the song, and you're like, "No" already. So I'm happy that they'll have more like musical freedom to make what they want. But I'm also really sad at the thought of the uncertainty. Like I don't know how this is gonna work out because people got their different plans and they're taking a break. And it'll probably be a while before we can hear them all together. Plus, military service is coming up for a lot of them, so I'm a little heartbroken. Like I know Mark is back in, or is about to be back in the States, or is going back to the States. Jackson's probably gonna focus on like China promotions. I heard Bam Bam is trying to focus on Thai promotions. Um, I mean, I know JB is probably gonna have to go to the military like next year, if not this year. He might do it this year. Um, Jin Young's like an actor now. Young Jay signed to another. It's sad to see them go their separate ways, and they swear that they're not leaving us, but it's gonna be a while before we hear them all together again. So that kind of really sucks. Honestly, actually, GOT7, I liked them before BTS, before Monster X. Like, I feel like the order of my favorite groups goes 2 p.m. They were the first group I ever heard. Big Bang, and then GOT7. Those are like my favorite like guy groups. 2 p.m. started it all though. I'm gonna be okay. I'll be okay, baby. Without you, that was my shit. And then I'm so sorry, but I love you, Takojima. That started, and then GOT7. That song A. I actually didn't hear girls first. I heard A. A. That song is so cute. I was sold when I heard that song. So I'm sad. I'm really, really sad. Hajima, Hajima. All right. Ooh. Shiana 2, would you recommend going to Korea alone at the age of 15? Absolutely not. For one, you're still a child. Korean age, you're an adult when you're 19. So I don't know what you would do here alone as a minor. You wouldn't be able to do much. You can't get a place to stay by yourself. I don't know how you would have money to come. I would definitely wait until you're at least 19 before you come to Korea, unless you want to come with your parents as a minor. But I wouldn't recommend coming at 15 alone. That's that's a no go. Why is Hajima stuck in my head now? Hajima, Hajima. Azuk Gaming, is it hard to find work in Korea? As a teacher, no. If you want to come as a teacher, I don't want to like overhype it up, but it's all but guaranteed, I think. Especially with the countless hagwons they have, and especially right now, with a lot of teachers going home and them not having a lot of people applying and then not accepting people from so many different nationalities. So I think right now, teaching is like I said on my plane, there was nothing but teachers and military. You could tell they were teachers because like the way they was dressed and like I was like, oh, that's a new English teacher. She nervous. I remember them days. Um, but as other employment, I'm not too familiar with. I am working on a video though about Craigslist in Korea because there are some red freaking flags, but there's also some legit work there. So depending on your skills and what they're looking for, you may be able to find something there. But do so with an abundant amount of caution because there's some sketchy. We need foreign girl who has open mind and it's like what, who is entertaining and hospitable to men. I'm like what? So as a teacher, yes, I think finding work here is pretty easy. But other than that, I don't really know entirely. Hajima, Hajima. Do 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 do. Now hear Markiplier. Queen Cookie. My first love was EXO, then GOT7, then Bangtan. I think when I heard EXO, I didn't really like them until I heard Overdose. I think Overdose. I was like, okay, and then Call Me Baby, Call Me Baby. I learned the choreo. Yeah, I like them too, but then it was hard for me to be supportive, seeing how they were mistreating so many of their members. I think Chris, Luhan, and Tao said, "We're out. Y'all treating us like we're a product and not like a human." So it made it kind of hard to listen to them with it, knowing how the company was doing them. So yeah, I do like EXO though. I have a few songs from them that I really like. Like Sweet Lies is like a bop, but I don't think I fully immersed myself in the EXO until the Eve. That choreo, the I love that choreography. Whoa. I'm trying to. I know this thing is all shaky because I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I'm so sorry. All right, Bam Junie. How do you get a T Money card? They sell them everywhere. They sell them at like convenience stores, but those are like the basic and generic ones. I recommend going to Myeongdong, and in the little underground shops and stuff, they have like more customizable T Money cards. Like they have a bunch of like different idol ones and stuff. That's where I got my Namjoon one. Where's my wallet so I can show you? I think it's too far out of reach. but it's old. It's Namjoon from their which comeback was that? It was the one before Idol. It was in 2017 when I got that T Money card. So it's old. I need to get a new one, but well. Fati Fati. Taki Taki. Taki Taki Roomba. Alright, sorry. Alright. Can we teach French in Korea? Um I have met Spanish teachers. I've met Chinese teachers and Japanese teachers. I'm sure people are learning French, but I haven't met any yet. So I don't really know. But like even when I'm online on these stupid little dating apps, you see people saying, "Oh, I want to learn this language." So I imagine people are learning French too, but that would have to be something you gotta like search for. It might be on Craigslist looking for French tutor, French teacher, things like that. Language is really important. Test H, have you listened to Kai's album? Have I listened to Kai's album? I don't know if y'all noticed this, but I think in all of my videos since came out, that song has been in all of my videos. I can't stop listening to that song. Ayana, Obsession is about I want yeah, that song, yeah, that's a good one too. Ashiana too, do you think Koreans would allow foreigners to work as a doctor? Yes, as long as you speak Korean. You would definitely have to know Korean like fluently to be a doctor here, unless you're like working on like a military base or in a foreign district type of situation. You probably most certainly need to know Korean fluently to do any sort of work here aside from like military or teaching or maybe even like an actor or model. Maybe that's when you don't need to know Korean, but for every other like major profession, you definitely have to know Korean to work here. Kajasa Victoria, how is quarantine? It's quite boring, but I'm used to it, And just me in bed with my TV. The only thing that's different is that my laptop died because normally I'd be like Sims, Roller Coaster Tycoon. Can't do none of that. I am so hurt because I was like Sims is gonna get me through this. No, it's not. Still not fair. All right. Um, Mary Tamba, are you in your own house or hotel? I am in a hotel. They drove us all here, told us it's 1.6 million won, and said we'll see you in 14 days. And it's funny because I don't listen well, right? So after we came up, I thought we had to go back down to get a COVID test because I thought I heard him say that another nurse was coming by to do our test. So I thought we had to go down there. And I tried to leave, and the elevator doesn't even work. So even if I wanted to go downstairs, I couldn't. Which is kind of, it seems like a fire hazard or something. Like there's an emergency, we can't leave. And the stairs has like caution tape on it. I'm stuck in here. The windows have like this little gate thing on it, so I can't open the window. Yeah, I feel like a lab rat, honestly. Oh boy. Alrighty. Um, AAR, what jobs without college degrees do you recommend for people moving to Korea? Military? I don't know. Yeah, aside from like entertainment or military, I don't know if there really is a job you can get because Korea is really like academically competitive. So like everybody, I graduated top of my class from Seoul National University. I mean, you could maybe be like a like a waiter or something. I'm not sure. There really isn't a whole lot you could do here without a degree, which it's like that worldwide. But yeah, I don't really know. Um, Giovanna Gutierrez, how much is rent there or Airbnb process? Are they really high? Now, Airbnb is definitely cheaper than where I'm at. I didn't have the option to do an Airbnb because I am a short-term visa holder. Now, for this place, it cost me 120,000 won a night, which is probably about $100 a night. So Airbnb is definitely cheaper. Seen a lot of people who they go through their whole 14 days and they only spend like $800 or like maybe $500 for. I mean, there's some like not so nice ones, but you also got to keep in mind you do have to feed yourself in that situation. Oh my god, my juice box is leaking. What? Okay, my juice box is leaking. All right. So you do have to keep in mind that if you want to do an Airbnb, you will have to pay for your own place, but that's definitely cheaper than the quarantine facilities. My juice box has betrayed me. All right. um, Shiba 333. How do you get food? They deliver it 3 times a day. 8 a.m. You see how shiny the juice. 8 a.m., 12 p.m., and 6 p.m. They bring food out on that little stump over there outside of the door. So, yo. I want you, I want you, want you, I want you, I want you, want you. No obsession. Bubble tea, you say y'all. Yeah, without a degree besides military and entertainment, you won't get approved for the work visa. Yeah, they're really strict about that. Like they want the best of the best, and I guess they weigh that your academic prowess. I guess as oh you're a really good person. You're smart. We want you in our country. So that's quite unfortunate. Yeah. Um, June's Desi girl, are all your foreigner friends teachers? Yes. I mean, there were a few that I met who were like students, but like they've come and gone. Whereas the teachers that I met, like I said, Bria, I met her in 2018 and she's still teaching. Same with Tanya. And Erin, she's back in Cali now, but she was a teacher too. So yeah, most of my friends definitely, yeah, they're foreign teachers. We have that bond, you know? Coming up with lesson plans and all that good stuff. Shiden, are there also teachers who aren't English native speakers? Not English teachers. If you want to be an English teacher, you have to be a native English speaker. So there, it is possible to get like citizenship in one of their 7 accepted countries. Like I do know a girl who was born in Honduras, but she has American citizenship, so she was eligible to come here and teach. But but yeah, if you, I heard a door. But if you aren't from those 7 countries, you can't teach English here. It's annoying because there's a lot of people who are fully capable of speaking English worldwide, and I'm like, what is it about these 7 countries in particular? I don't get it. Their English might be better than mine. um, is it Georgia? Do you recommend studying in Korea? I do because if I had known about it, I would have done it. For one, it was less than what I had to pay for university, so I'm pissed off about that. But I think a semester abroad will do you good. Um, yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I don't think I've met a person who was a student and hated it. Because you know when you are a foreigner here, you do kind of get like I don't want to say favoritism, but like leniency where they're not as like academically strict on you. Like the girl Alex, if you guys remember, I did like a video with 2 students. When I was in Cali, we met up again one time, and you know she was saying how she liked being a student there, but now she's trying to go back. She's trying to go to teach. So from what they said, being a student seems pretty lit in Korea. Markiplier. um, Zakar Henley. Hey, question. I have a layover in Incheon coming from San Francisco going to Japan for 7 hours. Can you tour the city? Probably not. Nah. If you have a layover, they're gonna keep you in the airport. um, Especially coming from America, you know, you're gonna probably have to wait in the airport for 7 hours. And Incheon's kind of far from like, well, not far. It's like an hour or so from Seoul and stuff. I mean, you could, no, yeah, no, you definitely. They're probably gonna keep you at the airport. Um, Brianna Moore, what is your major? My major was geology. I studied rocks because it's always been like my dream to be a meteorologist. I still love meteorology, the weather, climatology, all that good stuff. But I'm so bad with numbers and math. That being said, for some reason I was talked into believing that teaching or studying geology would open my field of employment. I could do more things, but yeah, I studied geology. I still don't know why. Ashley Merchant, what program did you do? Commercials. Um, I did the Talk program, which is Teach and Learn in Korea. It's like a sister program to Epic, but we're considered like Talk scholars. We're considered Talk scholars as opposed to like teachers. So yeah, it was the Talk program. It was pretty lit though. I really liked it. We only had to work like 15 hours a week. That was a good deal. Oh man. I know you want me. Brooke Barksdale, do you have a degree in education? Absolutely not. That's why I was like, y'all sure y'all want to hire me? I have no experience in teaching before they hired me. None. Aside from the occasional tutor position, nope. I had no experience as a teacher or an educator. Literally, they accept any bachelor's degree. You could study psychology, art, architecture and design, health. You could be a doctor, and they'll like any degree, any bachelor's degree. Did you have a TEFL? Nope. I thought about it, but it wasn't mandatory or even remotely a requirement for the talk program, so I just didn't spend the money on that. Yeah, and then when I kind of decided to go, it was very spur of the moment, where I thought Epic was like the only way I'd be able to go. So I was like, all right, I gotta wait till I'm done. Like maybe 2 years I can do it Epic, but then I found the talk program, and I just said I'm going in a few months, and I just went for it. I was still in school, so I didn't have money for the TEFL, so I just went, and for some reason they accepted me. um, Laura, where are you from? I am from Baltimore, Maryland, U.S. Mother effing A. I'm from Baltimore. Um, the murderous capital of Maryland. Yeah, USA. Um, why is that song? Oh, his outro song is stuck in my head. Um, AJ, did you end up getting that remote for your AC that turned on by itself? No. Literally, I don't know if you guys know, it's up there, but like usually there's a remote that goes to the air conditioner, and every now and then it comes on by itself. There's no remote here. Normally it'd be like lined up with the actual remote, so you have everything that you. It's not here. It's not in this room, and I don't know why that turns on and off every now and then. I have no idea. It's kind of creepy, and I'm all paranoid. I'm like, they pumping air and gas in these rooms trying to kill us. Um, Taylor Ashley tips on growing a YouTube channel. Honestly, a lot of it for me was luck. Like I still don't feel. I would just say be consistent. And I honestly, you don't even need to worry so much about equipment because like my first like 10 or 12 videos was just on my phone and a selfie stick, the same thing I'm using here. I was able to finally upgrade to a camera and I got a ring light. Just try to be consistent, like to because when I first did it, in my mind, I really believed that I could post like every Tuesday or Thursday. That didn't really work out so well with the time difference, and then with my old Gateway laptop, sometimes it felt like uploading for me, and sometimes it didn't. So that caused delays too. But yeah, I honestly I don't fully understand why y'all subscribe. Like I'm like such a weirdo. But yeah, just try to be consistent with your niche and talk about your niche and stuff. Cause like I've experimented with other videos and like clearly they're not like of interest to you guys, so I don't really do them anymore. Like the hair videos, and like the K-pop news thing. I tried to go down a little bit, but yeah. Oh, that's my phone. Uh-oh. Okay, no, that was just all right. I thought it was dying. All right, so yeah, I was just trying because when I first started, like that first like 2 months, that's when I had like my most growth. But last year in 2020, I think I owe a lot of that to people being like quarantined at home and on their phones and computers a lot more. But last year was like probably the biggest view growth I've had, whereas when I first started, it was like the biggest subscriber growth that I've had. But consistently doing it, and then I try to promote also on like my Instagram too, because my Instagram had more of a following than my YouTube. So after a while, though, that kind of surpassed my Instagram. But the tags are important too, because you want to be in the like the whole point of your video is to be searchable, like what people are looking for. So that's what I tried. That's why I like Korea is in like all of my titles. I know Korea is a really interesting topic for people, especially with like Korean dramas and K-pop and wanting to come here and like in the food and stuff. So that's why Korea is like in all of my videos. Yeah. um. XY, is there a possibility of teaching English in Korea if you have TEFL but you aren't a native English speaker? Unless you have citizenship in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, Ireland, the US, and South Africa, it's not going to be possible to teach English here. There's like, illegal under the table type of stuff, but that is not a situation you want to be in anyway. But visas, they only sponsor like the E2 visa is only applicable to people who have citizenship in those 7 countries. So you have to have a bachelor's degree and be from those 7 countries. It's a weird rule. Again, I don't fully understand like the diplomatic relationships between Korea and these 7 countries, but that's like the rule for now. I don't know why, but a TEFL without being a native speaker isn't gonna like help much. Um, oopsie. Cambria Brown, how do you become fluent in Korean? I wish I knew. I'm definitely not fluent. I can say things, but having a conversation, I'm still far from being able to do that because I don't listen well. Like, if somebody says something to me, I'm like, and I just walk away. Like, if you guys saw the video I did where I spoke like all in Korean, I said it's scary speaking Korean to Koreans because you say a few things and they think you're fluent. That happened to me yesterday. So like on our little form, we had to write foods that we're allergic to. So I said peanut, and then in parentheses I put dankong because it's peanut. He said you are allergic to pea. I was like a dankong. He said dankong. He's oh you can write Korean. I was like chogoman. He's like chogoman ah. He's like 한국어 잘 하시네요. And I was like 아니요 chogoman 할수 있어요. He's like and then started speaking to me in Korean. So he was like, this is gonna cause this on your card. Your lunch is over there. And I was like, 감사합니다. And he just thought it was fluent. So that's why I'm very hesitant to even speak Korean to Korean people because you say a few things and they think you know it. You got. I'm just like, that's what happened yesterday. Luckily, he didn't say too much. He just told me how much I was going to be charged and told me where my lunch was. So I was able to understand Tonyo Shiksa. And I was like, okay, that's lunch. All right. Or dinner. Mercedes McLean, is it easy to find salons in Korea that are natural hair friendly? No. One thing I can say is in Itaewon, you can get your hair done there, but it's expensive. So one thing, my friend Bria, we were talking about this like right before I came out here. Um, there's a Facebook page called like Natural Beauty in Korea, and she does hair. Bria does hair really nicely. She used to cut everybody's hair for them. She does braids. She does silk presses. She does hair really well, and she charges way less. She even told me she's booked up through February. I was like, get your coin, sis. Like that's what's up. So I would recommend checking out that page, and her info is there too if you want to like see her and get your hair done. But it's expensive to get like natural hair care in Korea, but Itaewon is probably your best bet if you do choose to go that route. I with the exception like I pretty much wear like clip-in extensions and then wig, but I did my own braids and Senegalese twists. But I do know like even when I'm like clubbing in Korea and I'm like, oh my god, I like your braids, and she's like, thank you, I got it in Itaewon. So yeah, Itaewon is probably your best bet for hair stuff. It's just expensive, man. Queen Cookie, can you use your American bank cards in Korea? Yep, as long as it's like a major MasterCard or Visa card. I think in Korea it's more MasterCard friendly than Visa card. So my bank is I have a MasterCard for American and then I have a MasterCard for my Korean bank. I when I first got here I did have my Visa card and I didn't really have too many problems with that. So I think as long as it's a major credit card you're good. I haven't had any problems with it yet so far. Caitlin Booth, could you do a Korean salon video, please? Um, I don't really have other people doing my hair. Maybe if like one of my friends go to get their hair done, I could like vlog what their experience would be like. But for the most part, I do my own hair. So I mean, I did go to get a Korean Magic straight perm twice. I don't know if I'm gonna do that anytime soon though, but maybe. I don't know. That's like the only thing that I've ever not done to my own hair. Like I straighten my own, I curl my own, cut it, braid it, twist it, bop it. So, um, El Negrito con Tumbayo y Azúcar. Those aren't the only English speaking countries. It is ridiculous. I completely agree. I don't like I know in India for example, English is like one of the nationally recognized language. Like I know a lot of people that speak English too. I don't get why what it is about these 7 countries. I don't understand. Like I said, I'm sure it's more based on like diplomatic relations. I They need to expand it past them 7 because it's kind of ridiculous. Um. All right, I'm gonna probably end this soon because I've got to go potty, and I think I want to try and sleep for a little bit more, so I'm not like up all day and having like a weird sleeping pattern. But I'm gonna try to go for like 6 more minutes so we can cut it at like an hour and a half. Cut. All right. Um, Dej Marie, I know there are black people that do hair in South Korea. You just have to look for them on Instagram or YouTube. Yeah, she's right. I would highly recommend that Facebook page. It's called like Natural Hair or Natural Beauty in Korea. And there's like a lot of people talking about it. Oh my God, I went here. This was my experience. It's like, and like I said, my friend Bria, she does hair really well. She's booked up. So maybe if you come, because she's, I don't know what her plan is. Like, her contract is up in like the end of June and she hasn't been home yet. So she's thinking about visiting and then going back. But she's also like, I kind of just want to be back in America. I'm kind of over Korea. So I don't know how long she'll be here, but you got at least a few more months if you want to get your hair done by her because she does the braids, twists, she installs wigs. Like she does everything. She's really good. um, Andrea C. I'm planning on going to Korea from 3 to 6 months to study Korean this summer. Would you recommend it? I think I'm the wrong person to ask because I happen to hate summer and I'm like a weirdo for that. But I think it's in like July. They have Jangma, the rainy season, so it's like really rainy and humid, and it's miserable. Mosquitoes. Oh God, I hate summer. Um, there's a lot to do in the summer, so like for that regard, you might have a lot of fun. Personally, I don't like summer. Like I said, I'm a weirdo. But 3 to 6 months. Yeah, I mean, like I said, if I knew about what it was like to study abroad, I definitely would have done it. I just wish I knew. Yeah, I think you should come. I'm just weird. I'm sure you like summer because most people like summer. I just hate summer because I'm a weirdo. Christian and Zia, do you ever get homesick or you are just loving Korea? The first year I was here, I was good. I was like even saying bye to my mom at the airport. I was like, "Ma, bye, see you." Like I was just so excited. But I will say around like Thanksgiving and Christmas, it gets lonely AF. Like then you see everybody posting on Facebook all the meals and the macaroni and cheese and the yams and the turkey and the ham. You name it. Oh, that's when it was like the hardest for me. Um, yeah, I think around the holidays is like when I mainly feel it. But I'm here now only for a few months anyway, but I was also just around my like immediate circles with my mom, my grandparents for Christmas. So I don't think it'll be too bad for you this time. But like I said, I'm only going to be here for a little bit of time. I only recall ever getting homesick during the holidays. That's it was hard. That's when it was really hard. But it's more excitement than homesick. Subchain, do they have sponsored visa to teach other language too? Yes. Like I said, I met a Japanese teacher, a Chinese teacher, and a Spanish teacher in Korea. Those are the only three that I know of, and it depends. Like I guess how important the language is deemed by local like Office of Education type stuff. I don't know. Like I know China is really important because they're massive and they're right there. Japan, Japan is important because they're like right there. Spanish is like what the third or second most spoken language behind like Chinese and English. I know it's like a close second. So it just depends on the language and where you are applying. But I do know that they do have the requirement or the demand for other teachers besides just English teachers. So, yep. Why is that song in my head now? Like my baby, everything you do is amazing. Ain't nobody watching go crazy. June's Desi girl. Do you personally know any foreigners holding positions in corporations like Samsung, Hyundai, etc., or are most of them in the arts or teaching field? Yeah, I don't know anybody up there. All the people I know are teachers. Yeah. I do know one person who's an actor here, and so far so good for that video. Um, I don't know, maybe in like a month or so, because I know he's probably busy. But other than that, most of the people I know are teachers or they were students or they're visiting. I don't know anybody who's like in corporate Korea as a foreigner. Yeah, I don't think I know anybody. But I don't really know many people anyway, so I'm like a bad person to ask about that. All right. Um, I think I'll do one more question because my bladder is gonna explode. All right, let me try to do one that's different. Uh, yeah, I want to try to answer one that I didn't answer before already. Pee break. No, not pee break. I'm about to. It's what 6:30 now. Oh, it's almost 7 a.m. One more question. Um, I don't. I'm trying to pick like a good last question, but I don't want people to be like, "What? You didn't answer mine." It's hard picking just one more. Um, I don't know what to say. All right, I think that's a good question. Gloria Myers, all the best while you're there. Just saw you were live. Take care. Are you planning on getting a shot to keep safe? I think it is very important for everybody to get vaccinated. I think that's a good note to leave this on. Everybody needs to get the vaccine when it's safe for you and when it's like eligible for you. I'm kind of sad that I'm in like that lower demand bracket. It kind of sucks. Um, like for example, I feel like if these older people are getting it and they're fine, I think the rest of us will be fine. And I hope that I mean, like we we ain't got no other choice, man. The Corona cannot become life. Like this cannot be normal. And then it's sad that there's still so many countries that don't have access to it yet, which means Corona is going to keep evolving and new strains are going to keep coming out. They're probably going to be less resistant or more resistant to the vaccines and stuff. Korea doesn't have it yet, and I know their president got a lot of slack over that. Like, why don't we have the vaccine? And they're trying to secure it for like springtime. But I hope that everybody, when it's your turn, will get vaccinated. I know I will, absolutely. So, yeah, I think as soon as I say, all right, one more question, then I get like a billion flooded. Yes, it's good to see people got or parents already got the vaccine. That's good. My mom, she's not quite in that bracket yet because in Maryland it's like 65 and up. And my mom's only 47, 48, so she can't get it yet. But I know she will soon when it's her turn. All right, so I am going to cut this here. It's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. It is 7 a.m. I need to pee. Try to get some sleep again. All right, so this is the first live back in 2021. I think I'm going to try to make this a bit more regular. I still gotta try to find like better times to do this. I don't know if this is the best time for y'all, but if it is, then I can wake up like 5 a.m. and do this. We'll see. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And like I said, I'm gonna have like a more detailed video about the quarantine process. But I figured you guys probably had some questions about it, like, and I wanted to answer like while it was fresh in my head. So, bye. Thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Even though y'all probably already are because you're here. So I'll see you next time. Bye. Annyeong.